What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 14 of my Total Warhammer 3 modded Kroq-Gar campaign. So as we saw last time, Kroqi, or to be specific, Lord Kroq, croaked up a storm at Karak-Azul and destroying the Skaven there and allowing us to sack it and move northward towards Black Iron Mine. We are still up here trying to achieve two things. One, find Queek, kill Queek, and acquire Vermin Flail, and B, to try to find Karazakarak so that any territories we take from the Orcs can be given to Karazakarak rather than only to Thorak, who has been hilariously bankrolling us this entire time. And, you know, I've never done anything like this in any other campaign before, just constantly giving an ally settlements in order to get all of its money. It's very interesting that the AI can't actually build any armies because of that, but at the very least this is working out fairly well for us. I've never been so rich so early in a campaign, which is also quite nice to see. And in a way, we're sort of almost like acting like Thorak's standing army. Since he doesn't have one, we're acting as his army and he's paying us for it. So yeah, we're some mercenary lizards. But anyway, in terms of what we gotta do this turn still, I believe we've done all the buildings last time, unless I'm mistaken. No, actually no. I think we did all the buildings that needed to be done in the new territories, as in the Talaqua territories, but not our old territories. So let's do those. We are not collecting income here because we need two things. We need the Totems of... Nope, Old One Monument. Got to get that control up and running, and we will eventually delete the spawn pools here in place of a... Saurus military building, but we'll do it later on. And then we'll go for the Holy Ziggurat at Misty Mountain. We'll upgrade those skink barrios as well. And then Crater of the Walking Dead, Doomglade. We have deleted a building there, so I guess we will build, at least for now, the skink foraging camp. It's going to take a long time to upgrade both Lamia and Resetra after all. And in the Kingdom of the Beasts, the Cursed Jungle, we can do... I mean, I guess we could do the same thing with more growth. I'm still not sure whether it's best to build Temples of Quetli or Grand Plazas or Lodestones. I feel like it's gotta be either the Lodestone or the Temple, but I'm not sure which is actually the better pick here. Actually, just out of curiosity, in the main territory, in the Temple of Skulls, the Geomantic Pylon, it does actually function differently from the Lodestone. Yeah, well, for now, either way, that doesn't change things, and we are going to build the Skink Foraging Camp, which completes what we need to build in these territories. Alrighty. We're going to be fighting Arcan fairly soon, so we also do need to prepare, but fortunately, Tic-Tac-Toe is going to be up and running in 5 turns, and hopefully by then, we'll already have an army for him. Now, first thing that we need to do that isn't building, is we're going to summon a Saurus Scarvet, let's say you. Why the uncompromising guy? Because the others will be milled sooner than he will. And we're going to send him out this way. And we need to make sure that he moves in such a way that he doesn't identify Kairos, who is here and here. Alright, so the Sinhal monoliths, so anything here is Kairos. So we'll need to travel essentially up here, move southward until we find the Cult of Sotek, then move northward until we find Mazdamundi, and then go into one of the sea lanes, which is here, and then follow that to find Nakai down here, presuming that Nakai is still alive. Generally speaking, one of the good things about Nakai is that he's fairly easy to confederate in my experience, mostly because he constantly loses his armies. So, yeah, we'll see if we can't manage that one fairly early. Man, if we could get confederations here, and in Cathay, we could start fighting basically on every continent at the same time. That would be just fantastic. Actually, I never uploaded this campaign because it was before I started uploading stuff to YouTube, but one of the most fun times I had in a campaign was there was a mod that allowed you to essentially confederate all of the Tomb Kings on turn 1, so that you started with all of them everywhere. And it was really, really fun. Because, well, because their armies were free, so you could have an army at every location at the same time. And I think that was back when Khalida was down here. So I had like armies from Katep, armies from Kalita, armies from Cetra, all fighting all over the place at the same time. It was just a great time. Would be lovely to repeat it with Kroq-Gar. Anyway, anything else that we need to do this turn? You guys have already moved, so I guess if not... If not, then it's time to attack. Kroq-Gar, let's give you some levels before we do. Ooh. Do we need to purge anybody else here? Who are we not purging? Greenskins, Ogre Kingdoms. You know what? We are going to be fighting Greenskins, so maybe we get Annihilate the Beasts as well. A little bit of extra charge bonus. We do have a Stand Your Ground. I guess we could get Soulbound and Epicentrist. But, you know, I think that maybe we'll start going through Annihilate the Beasts. Why not? Wow, I didn't realize Kroq-Gar's charge was already so incredibly high. Quite nice, though. Yeah, we're not fighting elves right now, and we're not fighting dwarfs and humans. We may never do so. Who knows? But, yeah, for now, Annihilate the Beasts. We'll go through that, then we'll probably get soulbound, because we'll be getting horned ones eventually, so we need them buffed. And then after that, we'll start moving through Kroq-Gar's own fighty tree, so that he can be a little bit stronger. He does still get quite damaged, because he doesn't have regeneration. Next up, Teto Echo. You... What do we do with you? We could get Arcane Vassal. Yeah, why not? I still will probably rarely use it, but why not? Free Fireball is free Fireball, I guess. Next up, you, Pradot. Let's get you Scarred Vet, because you have regeneration, and that means even more effective HP. Out of the HP, we'll get Deadly Onslaught next, and then keep building you up to be nice and fighty. Alright, and then lastly, Kroq-Gar. Let's get you both points in Supreme Shield of the old ones, mostly because every single point in this reduces the cooldown by 30 seconds. So we go from 120 to 60, which means it has 50% uptime. Every minute we get to reuse the Supreme Shield, and it is quite a strong ability, so yeah. And then afterwards we'll get the reserves of Eldritch Energy and replenish troops, and then we'll start maxing out Deliverance of Itza, because we'll use it constantly, and grab Shield of Sapphire and Arcane Conduit as our first most important things. Also gotta remember that at level 10 we get access to the eldest of the first generation, which will give us... Well, Grand Palanquin is gonna be useful. Huh! Actually, interesting. If we take Grand Palanquin and keep Kroq in Kroq-Gar's army, we wouldn't need the Medallion of Uxmak, would we? And because there's a maximum on-campaign movement range, and I don't think that the extra 30% would apply. We can probably trade this to another lord. Which would mean another lord is also going to be able to move really, really far, which would be quite nice. But anyway, we'll deal with that later. Close victory here, but we are going to fight this cinematically, because this is a walled settlement. Well, not a walled settlement, but it is a minor settlement that has a... that has a pseudo-settlement battle, a minor settlement battle, rather than a field battle, is what I'm getting at. So this might be fun. Let's get to it. Alrighty, here we go again. Some orcs to take out. Shouldn't be too much of a problem, I wouldn't think. And yeah, I never noticed this. So Kroq-Gar's throne, his throne has 3 of these tusks, or I guess horns, on it, and the Saurus Scarvets have 2. I wonder if the Saurus Old Bloods have 3, or whether they have 2. Well, as soon as we get a Saurus Old Blood with a Carnosaur, we're definitely gonna check it out. Anyway, the 2 fighting back to back or side to side as they usually do, wading in to the pile of enemy boar boys, unafraid, because, I mean, look at them. They're tiny down there. They're like ants, or perhaps to a Carnosaur, they're like boars. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to send these 2 in first, mostly because they're the only units that move fast enough to get into the battle, while everybody else follows them in and attacks the boar boys, while our flyers separate. Some will go after the tower, while the rest will go after the enemy ranged units. Shouldn't be too much trouble, as we've seen them destroy plenty of ranged units in the past. We're even getting a few extra shots into the boar boys here, and could have, if we really wanted to, probably could have dropped a few bombs on them as we flew by, but it's just fine. Oh man, and the Kroq-Gar is making the trolls look tiny by comparison as well. I didn't even realize that was a troll for a second. I thought it was a biggin. Alright, well, it's going to be a mashed up bloody spot on the ground in a few seconds. As soon as somebody actually hits him. Alrighty, well, good luck to everybody there. You are going to go after that troll and bring it down eventually. Anyway, looks like the boar boys are pretty much done here, or at the very least they're all at half HP, and will be dropping further. We're going to pop that shield of the old ones as well, though we are not getting hit with the missiles. At least the 40% damage resistance should prevent us from taking too much more damage. Looks like our flyers have already taken out the first enemy unit of air boys, and the catapult tower has fallen. Second unit of air boys is about to follow suit, and the second catapult tower as well, which will mean pretty much all the range support that the enemy has, both in the form of its units and in the form of its towers. Alright, just gonna do a flyover real quick. Here comes our other unit. They're just gonna swap out as one goes for the tower and the other goes for the enemy range, and we're gonna drop some bombs on them to make it go by a little bit faster as well. They're already shaken, they're already wavering, and they will be broken before long. Two of the boar boys units and the troll units are also out of the picture. One of them is behind the defensive little line here, but I doubt that'll help out, especially with Kroq, and Pradat attacking them all at the same time. You gotta love Kroq's spirit attacks, though. They're pretty nice. It's a nice animation. Great touch to whoever came up with the idea for that. Alrighty, and it looks like the enemy also does have some infantry. It's not all boar boys and archers, so our Kroq-Gars are going to start whacking away at these biggins, though there are Saurus moving in to support them as well. And the Kroq-Gars really ain't afraid because they have regeneration on top of the ward save. Why do they have ward save? Wait. If I could select you someday, please, proxies, I love you. Let's see, bolstered attack, blessed spawning of Quetzal. Oh, that's what the ward save is from. Alright, so regeneration and ward save. I got confused by this ward save as opposed to the ward save that is here, but I guess you have to display it here as well. Yeah, makes sense. I remembered that we got 10% ward save from the blessing, but then I was like, wait a second, do we have another 10% ward save somehow? We have another 40% ward save when the shield comes up, and speaking of shield, here comes Kuroki floating overhead. And there's that spirit attack. Oh, Kuroki looks quite scary, doesn't he? I like how his mask lifts up when he attacks. We'll watch this some more, especially since we probably aren't going to see a lot of his physical damage, at least not until he's a lot more buff. He may get a decent amount of buffs, but he is also quite fragile, so unless he's in a blob like this is probably not something that we're gonna do. Anyway, speaking of blob, the blob advances and the enemies run before it. I want to see, we got 19 kills and 3,000 damage, and not so bad. He hasn't cast a single spell yet, so this is just him killing stuff that he's come upon. It looks like the enemies here are failing to hold the barricade, and I think our range units, or our flyers, which are our only range units, have destroyed all of the enemy's own range, which means they're just free to attack the enemy orc boys, and biggins as they want. And there we go, look at me, I actually managed to use that fireball from Arcane Vassal. Probably not gonna get too much value out of it, but at least it's something. Well, I like the shadows of or the silhouettes of the Pterodon riders as they are. It's a very dark map, which makes it difficult to see the actual infantry, but the Pterodons look fairly nice. Anyway, what do we have left here? Not much, especially once a Deliverance of Xhotl comes down. Lord Kroq got a little bit bored of just attacking them with his spirit, spirit punches. It's nice that he's actually leading the charge here, rather than Pradat and Kuroki, who are over on the other side. Alrighty, and I do believe the battle is pretty much over. We've pretty much won everywhere where we attack. We advance deeper into the enemy settlement from every direction, and it looks like most of the enemy troops are already out. They're shattered here, they're shattered there, and they shall soon be shattered everywhere. Just a few more shots from the Pterodon Riders, I imagine, and they'll be done for. But here comes a Kroq and Pradot. Do they actually need to charge in? Looks like they do. The enemy will take another charge from them. Well, good luck to them. There we go. Very nice charge there. Sorry about the wonky camera work this time around. It's one of those maps where there's a lot of stuff that interferes with the camera. Well, it looks like these guys are just about out. The Orc Biggins that are standing on top of this key building are just about out as well, and there we go. I think the chain route is here. I see the leadership dropping on the enemy lord. And just like that, the battle is ours. Lovely. Well, looks like we barely took any damage at all, and I'm loving the fact that Kroq got to actually fight in melee. Yeah, this place certainly looks like it was under siege. It's all on fire and stuff like that, though I think it's normally like that. Plus there's all this lava and stuff. Oh, we should have attacked here. I didn't realize there was a light portion of the map. That's my bad. That's okay, next time. I'll try to remember that there's a light portion on this map in particular. Alrighty, very nice. Very, very minimal losses. Add to that, 5 lost, and we got ourselves another 10 alignments and plenty more money as well. Beautiful. And I guess once again we're gonna loot and occupy just for the healing, if nothing else. A Stegodon for Teto Echo. You know, I do like the idea of having the Steg, but I think we'll keep off the Steg. For now. It's tempting, don't get me wrong, but I like the idea of Teto Echo leading the flyers while we have them in this army. Later on, when we no longer do, we'll put him on an ancient steg with the engine of the gods. Yeah, also, I do find it interesting, you know how the ancient steg is at level 24, and the ancient steg with the engine of the gods is at level 27? And then, if that's the case, why the heck does the building that offers to build those put the ancient steg with the engine of the gods at tier 4, but the regular ancient steg at tier 5? Is it me or does this make no sense? It's very strange. These should be swapped around, right? The engine of the gods is better than the non-engine of the gods because it can rip apart infantry hordes. And probably... I don't know. It also gives Portent of Warding a 10% ward save in area, which the regular Ancient Steg doesn't. I'm just comparing them here, and on top of that, it gives a Winds of Magic augment. Yeah, this needs to be swapped around. There's an issue there. Alrighty, Black Iron Mine. We will be trading you, but for now we don't have to do anything with you. I guess we can uncollect the income, though, and just so that it doesn't instantly rebel. We do get more levels, but damn, I was hoping for another level on Lord Kroq, and just so that we can heal our Feral Steg a little bit more, but oh well. Alrighty, now we have 24 alignments to spend, and those alignments shall be spent on... Where are we here? Wait. We have nowhere to spend the alignments? Wait. That's concerning. We could get the Blessed Chameleon Skinks, but that's not enough. You're about to get a Reviv Crystal, which is 10 of the alignments. You have nobody. I guess we could get one of these guys on the field, but frankly I wouldn't want to waste alignments on a Skink Skirmishers. I honestly still don't understand the purpose of Skink Skirmishers. I just plain don't understand what use for them exists, and if anybody knows what it is, please let me know, because why would you ever build these things rather than chameleon skinks? 23 damage, 120 units. versus 100 units and 34 damage. Well, that's probably with buffs and veterancy, but yeah, I really don't see why you would. Is basically what I'm getting at. Chameleon skinks just seem to be better in pretty much every single way. Other than being very, very slightly more expensive. It's not like the difference between Saurus and Temple Guard, where even if Shielded Spear Saurus and Temple Guard have some similar roles, there's a pretty big disparity in armor, armor piercing, and general eliteness of the troop. Chameleon skinks are accessed early at tier 2, as opposed to tier 1. I don't know. Does anybody ever use skink skirmishers in general? Please let me know. Otherwise, do we have to do anything else this turn other than potentially spend alignments, which I guess we are not going to? If the natural decline is only at 2 per turn, it won't change anything anyway. I guess we could wait until the Blessed Chameleon skinks, but I think we're fine for now. We should also make time to put the elite flyers in this army, I guess. The Colossadon Hunters and the Spirit of Tepok. But I guess we could do that once this army is ready to go. We don't need to waste money per turn doing it right now. Alrighty, last thing. Quick Diplo check. Camry, no, we're gonna attack you, and everything else looks normal, so skip the rest of this. And end the turn. Alright, could we get attacked anywhere? It's gotta be here. Let's see what we're looking at. Will Arcan come south now that they have taken Khemri, which I assume needed all of their armies? Yes, he will. Okay. And there's no fighting this, there's no point. We have skink skirmishers and skink cohorts, and yeah, we have a single unit of Kroxies, but no. And there is absolutely no point in fighting this, oh well. Well, it was always bound to happen like that, that's fine. We can retake Bagar. We were expecting to lose it eventually. And that's just fine, though. We will send our army north then. We may have lost Bagar, but I refuse to lose Antok in the same way. So what we'll do... We don't care about Rakiran, he was a temporary lord. Speaking of temporary lords, just want to double check here. Strategic, strategist, perceptive, Skaven main, and strong. Okay. Strong is nice. It's very nice, but it ain't perfect spawn, so we'll keep an eye out for the next perfect spawn. Paragiol, you are heading to Antok. Like so. And... I do have to wonder whether there's any purpose to keeping a skink chief in the army, as in specifically in Tic-Tac-Toe's army. It buffs a bunch of regular skink units, but it doesn't buff the flying skinks. And I don't imagine the physical resistance applies to flyers, which means that we can probably move this to our skinky army, which is not going to be Tic-Tac-Toe's army. Although I guess you could also consider it to be a skink army by virtue of who the flyers are, but nonetheless. Anyway, Turan Ekon, move to Antok. We are also going to pop in the Colossadon Hunters and you, Spirit of Tepok. Like so. Alrighty, looks like the army is well underway. Also, how many more turns until we're ready to start recruiting Ripperdactyls and Coatl? 3 turns. And as soon as we're able to, they're heading out. Speaking of heading out, the Grukoks. You are going to find the Cult of Sotek, but hopefully stay far enough away that you don't sight Kairos. I'm even a little bit wary of encountering Kairos in the sea somewhere, so I'd rather not. Anyway, now that we've moved you out of the Suntree Glades, we no longer need these buildings here, as this is not going to be a recruitment province. Pterodon Hatchery out. We will keep the Sacred Spawning Caverns for now, just for the extra Saurus Scarvet capacity. But otherwise not so much. Speaking of Saurus Scarvets, Strategist aggress... Oh, damn. Strategist would be another... Ugh. The plus 25 movement range would be a pretty significant increase. Do we just delete it? Ah, freaking hell. Okay, fine. Alright, Gila, you're in. You're gonna head out to sea instead. Wait, what? That's not right. Look, he's moving at the exact same rate that Grukoks is moving. That shouldn't be the case. You have a plus 25% campaign movement range. Unless it doesn't activate. You know what? We're going to keep them both on field for now, but we're going to delete one of them next turn. I just find it very strange that he can move to the exact same position. and not right. It would be unfortunate if strategist doesn't actually work for heroes. As, well, it is a trait. Ooh, also, you are now done. Meaning, first of all, we are going to get unit upgrades here. Warpaint of... I believe Xhotl was the better one. Banish and Magic Bond, as opposed to just a little bit of extra ward save. But these things are pretty darn tanky anyway. Warpaint of Xhotl it is. And while you could recruit more dinos, we can also do it elsewhere. So, I think I'd rather move you now. We need to reinforce against the onslaught of the dead here as fast as we can. Also, what we need to do is we need to keep an eye on where Queek is. So, where are you, Queek? Is he still here? Wait. Oh, he's moved down here. He was up here before. Okay, he's moving southward, perhaps back to Kroq-Gar. Well, isn't that interesting? Kroq-Gar, you're going to siege Kroq-Gar. Yes, you're gonna do it in Astromancy staff. I don't really care about Black Iron Mine. We're gonna siege this, and if Queek is down here, we might be able to attack him. Siege this for a turn, I think. Really, this is all about catching Queek. Once he's done, we destroy this faction. That's the thing. Alrighty, if he continues moving down here, it would be ideal. Absolutely ideal. Isoko Rismate. You can stay here. In fact, just move up a little bit closer, but stay in ambush stance outside of Spike Peak. Like so. Who knows if Queek comes down, but also, if we sack this, we might be able to move in and get you your stuff. And also, you need to actually make an army. And also, oh, you have our recruiter thing, don't you? We're gonna need to swap this around. Wait, let me see here. We can make a recruiter at Talakwa. Let's see, do we have anybody that's free? Yes, we do. Koal is back. Well, isn't that lovely? Koal, you're going to come back. I'm going to put you into Talakwa. We're going to give you that recruitment thing. Talisman. Yes, Talisman, Recovered Tablet of Knowledge. And then, assuming there's no ancillaries that help you with recruitment, though I doubt that there is. Yeah, no, there is not. Oh, we gotta give that Artifact Hunter to an army. We're gonna have you start recruiting as well. So, definitely Bastillodon, definitely Solar Engine, and I'd prefer... Well, you know what? That cost 5k already. Let's hold off. We're gonna spend a lot more money on getting Coatl and Ripperdactyls. So I think that's fine for now. Alrighty, you guys have moved. Chameleon. All of you need to continue moving, and you also need to trade a bunch of stuff. You are going to move in March stance. We're going to risk it. Risk it for the biscuit. And go here. Hopefully we don't run into a pile of enemies. And if we do, well, you're going to have to fight for your life if Arcan is there. No, it doesn't look like it. Alright. Keep following him. All three of you. We're going to meet down close to where Talakwa is. And are you in attrition territory here? I think I'm not at the edge of this. Yeah, we're going to swap a bunch of these units around with Tic-Tac-Toe and then make 2 to 3 armies out of it. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lords right now. They're costing us a pretty penny as well, so we gotta do that ASAP. Anyway, what else do we have here? Anybody else need to move? No, doesn't look like it, but we probably do have buildings to build. Let's go. Crater of the Walking Dead, Resetra. And we're gonna go Kroq-Gar Labor District for you. We're gonna go Insect Breeding Farm, and then lastly, Doomglade. Gotta go with one of these. Why does this always have to be such a difficult decision? Ugh. I gotta just make a decision as to which one. I'm tempted to go Temple of Quetli just because of the extra money, but income from all settlement buildings. It's not much, but if we have a ton of these, there would be value. I just want to double check. So the Shrine of the Old Ones here. Oh, there's another option. We build Beast Slayers everywhere, which would increase our capacity for special basties, which would essentially be a +3 special basties, wouldn't it? And just out of the one building, in a minor settlement. It doesn't offer us any other benefits, unfortunately. Well, actually, it does produce exotic animal cages. Obviously not as good as the... Oh, wow, +4 special basties of each type for a single one and a high tier. And then again, there's just straight up Old One Monument to just straight up increase income from the place. I guess for places that make a lot of cash, this might actually be the better pick. And the control isn't all really all that relevant, but another 10% income would probably be more than this, or would it? When we have a large empire, the income from settlement buildings would actually be more, wouldn't it? Income from settlement buildings plus 2%. So our settlement buildings generate 150 money. Oh, okay, so that gives us plus 1 money. Plus 1.5, I guess, per settlement. And to get, yeah, the 10% will probably make more money. We need like 100 settlements for this to actually do that much. I guess the main settlements do make more at 250, but nonetheless. Yeah, so the lodestone doesn't seem as worth it, which means it's either Grand Plaza or Temple of Xhotl. And I know it's annoying me deliberating about this, but we have to make a decision now and then just build the same building everywhere for the foreseeable future. I guess we could delete it later on. You know what? Let's do this. Lamia is currently our most money-making territory, so here we're going to go with the Grand Plaza, but everywhere else we're gonna go different things. And I do imagine Lamia will continue being one of our higher making territories. Money-making, I mean. Alright, you, insect breeding farm and Western Jungles. We have an insect breeding farm for you. Breeding plenty of insects. Antok, let's get you your insect breeding farm. And hey, we're down below 20k now. Alright, we gotta steal some more of Thorek's money. I mean, give him valuable commodities for well-earned money. Alrighty, and that's good at the barrier idols. You are okay, Black Iron Mine, until we deal with the Karak Azul. And I believe that's it. Alright, quick little turn. Haven't checked diplomacy this time around, though. Khemri Cult of Sigmar, that's all looking good. And the rest of this is looking good as well. Yeah, we're fine. Alright, let's end the turn now. Damage building, don't care. If we get attacked, we may get attacked. I guess at Antok. This guy could attack again. What do we have in terms of defenses at Antok? Nothing crazy. We could summon some blessed skink skirmishers, but do we really want to pay for them? I would like to know what exactly the alignments do for them. And we do need to spend alignments, but we can also spend them in a couple turns, most likely. You know what? Honestly, if this guy decides to attack us, it might actually be a good thing. Because I feel like this army would be able to win it. Mostly just waiting in the background while our Air Force did most of the work. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. End the turn, and let's see if they attack. Oftentimes it's better to bait the enemy into a fight to win. Oh wait, I saw settlement besieged on the right there at Karak Azul, and he's not going to attack. In fact, he's going to move away from Bagar. Coward. Say your demands, I may kill you anyway. Yes, Kroq-Gar. Peace treaty, no. Not while Itza's confederation remains in the cards. Alright, it's also been like several turns since we've given Thorek a settlement, which I don't like. And because we obviously need to give him more settlements for more money. Gotta get it back up to 50k. And hey, there we go, upkeep production minus 5%, sequence of logistics. I love it. Fauna Fury, recruit the following type of unit, War Beast. I take it these guys are War Beasts? Is this War Beasts? What is a War Beast in the context of the... Are Feral Cold Ones War Beasts? What the heck's a War Beast? It's... Well, we don't need Feral Cold Ones. Well, you know what? I guess we'll see once these guys are recruited, if that's the case or not. It would be swell, actually, to reduce the recruitment rank. I generally think of these guys as monstrous units. I feel like War Beasts are like hounds and stuff like that. But we'll see. Anyway, other than that, we are looking good. What's our allegiance at? 46, not so bad. Gotta prepare for our fire army. You would actually be able to hit Bagar if you wanted to. Certainly tempting, and well, Thorek, he's had several turns to actually build an army. Oh, man. Kroq. Kroq with the plague. Then where the heck is Queek? If Kroq is here... Alright. We gotta look for Queek again. I know this is annoying as well. Wait. Defeat army Kroq. Wait, what? Have I been looking for the wrong unit? I thought we were looking for Queek. Huh. Odd. Oh, Queek died. There is no Kroq. There's no Kroq at all. Queek is dead. Oh, well, for the love of Queek. Why you gotta be like this, man? Well, now I'm not sure what to do. I guess we sack it again, but look, Queek is going to take 8 turns to come up, so if we occupy this place now, or we sack it, we take 1, 2, 3, 4 to go up to Karazikarak, or this way. And then back. Like, it would take 8 turns, but honestly, I'm not entirely sure it's worth it. I guess we could find Tretch Craventail here, so let's say we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, Queek will be back by the time we're here, damn it. Alright, fine. So, we're gonna sack it, we're gonna leave it alone. This is gonna hurt our Feral Stag, isn't it? Yeah, that absolutely hurt our Feral Stag. Oh well. Sack. Ugh, Queek, you better make this worth our time. You're gonna go back into Black Iron Mine. And we are... Oh, I should have switched you to Battle Stance or whatever. And then we're gonna go crook back into... Ooh, have we sighted you? Yes, we have. Thank you. Oh, okay, that was worth it then. Non-aggression pact, trade agreement, military access, balance offer. Fund us as well. 5k for all this. Isn't that lovely? And military alliance is fairly quick. Join war against Bloody Hands or Crooked Moon. Are we not already fighting Crooked Moon? Oh, it's not the Mutinous Gits, but the regular Crooked Moon? Sure. I mean, I guess they could march all the way down here and annoy us. You know what? Don't bother with it. He will offer us the alliance eventually anyway. There's no need. And also, what there is a need for, Lord Kroq, you can get replenished troops. There we go. A little bit more healing. Alrighty, Crocky, stay there until Queeky is up and running. Once again. I can't believe he died. Of course. And yet, I should have believed it. Sequence of the Artisan for more money, I think. Though I am tempted by the campaign movement range for everybody, everywhere. Or we could get 3 little minor upgrades, like lesser creatures, greater creatures, and tablet. You know what? Let's get Tablet of the Source. It's only 2 turns. It feels like it's a waste not to do it. Chameleon, you're gonna find Arcan now. Now this is all attrition-y? No, it isn't. Alright, well, you're gonna move in regular stance, which is this one. You're gonna trespass, but I don't think we care. Honestly, this probably would have been a decent time to attack Cetra, but we can attack him later on. You go into channeling stance, follow Chameleon. You go into channeling stance as well. All of you follow Chameleon. Wait, what? Why are you suffering attrition? The heck? Are you guys immune to attrition for some reason that I'm not aware of? What the heck is going on? Why is Kanos Kier suffering attrition here? I don't understand. Alright, well, you're gonna go into Encamp then. Or wait. Outside of Encamp, let's say here. Oh. Wait, does Astraman cease to now? It doesn't do anything for us? Alright, fine. Let's go there. I don't know what's up with these guys not suffering attrition. But oh well. They can keep moving and they can head to Khemri. Pragiel, rather. If you attack Bagar... No, I think you have to stay here. If you attack Bagar, you could definitely take it, but I don't think we get too much value out of it right now. Alrighty, more importantly, Farak. Once you're here, the 2 of you can attack together. Or you can transfer the troops and then move out. Alright, and I believe that's all for the moves. Let's try to find another battle, damn. Right, I wanted to see. Gila. Yeah, look at that. He moves at the exact same rate that Grukox does. Huh. So, either this is broken, either strategists can never work on heroes, or it doesn't work in the sea, and the sea is a maxed out movement range. Do we test it again? I think we test it again. I know these guys are going to cost us 200 extra gold per turn, but I'm really curious, so both of you are gonna go. And in the meantime, actually, we should also check on any more Humble. Hero Recruit Rank +2 isn't so bad, but yeah, it's not something we need right now. Really disappointed that that guy couldn't move as far as the other guy, but oh well. Iso Charismate, you're gonna have to stay here as well. We can also give up Black Iron Mine next turn or so. Let's do buildings and let's go next turn. Central Jungles. Ooh, wow, lots of stuff now. Sentry Glades, let's say... Yeah, this place will generate a decent amount of cash, but probably not a crazy amount. Let's go Temple of Xhotl here, I guess. Although the public order here is also quite problematic. Well, either way. Xhotl, will you need walls? No, you're kind of in a safe place. Let's put a Grand Plaza here, and then let's start on the Geomantic Pot. Oh, wow, 5.4k? That's a little bit steep. You know what? Let's go Skink Foraging Camp instead. Or, in the alternative, we build another Temple Guard Barracks here. Just to increase our Sora Scar veteran capacity further, which would allow us to remove this thing from here and build the Woodsman's Hut. Yeah, let's do that. And Sentry Glades, let's just build the Totems of Xhotl? Or the Old One Monument. Build the Old One Monument for now, we'll probably replace with Totems of Xhotl later. Southern Jungles, yes. Good. Southern World's Edge Mountains, we don't care about you because we're going to replace you. Skip the rest of this. Garrison Lore, Damage Building, etc., etc. Diplomacy. Cult of Sigmar, looking friendly. But I'm not sure that we're not going to attack them yet. As in, we may very well attack them, so... We'll ignore that, end the turn. I can't believe Queek died. Alright, and then let's move north, let's take Tretch's capital, and let's trade it to Imrik in the hopes of him being real friendly. And then we'll come back south, take out Karak Azul again, and hopefully by then Queek will be back. And I take it our mission will have been aborted now. Yes, okay, so war beasts are monsters. Okay, so it's like, ooh, hello, what do we have here? This guy's standing there, right? Really tempted to attack him, even though this army isn't gonna be very strong. But what is he gonna do once he runs out of anti-air? Which ain't a lot. Well, free alignments, and hello, what do we have here? Income from post-battle loot and income from sacking settlements faction-wide. And weapon strength and missile strength. Damn, that's going to be quite strong, depending on the unit. Probably should be given to a unit that's on a mount that has both a melee and a ranged attack. What do we have to do for this? Capture 1,000 battle captives? Easy. Easy. Also, 2 turns until you... Alrighty, you know what? I think this is the only battle that we're liable to get right now, so we're going to have Pragio attack King Deshret. You know what, screw it. We're gonna get you guys in here. Out of curiosity, what kind of upgrades do you have? So, spawning of Sotek gives you lethal poison as opposed to regular poison, which is a better poison. Tepog gives you perfect vigor and spell resistance, and then Huanchi gives you bleed as well. Neat. But really, not really super useful units nonetheless. Anyway, let's give you guys your points and then we'll do one more battle. Dance of Death or Replenish Troops, gotta go replenish troops. And then you have Harmonic Convergence. Let's get, for this particular battle, Wind Blast, as it's very effective against all of those, skeleton units. Though granted, our aerial units will be as well, but that's fine. Do we need any of these? Nah. We're okay. Attack, please. I assume you're gonna fight, yes? Yes, indeed, he is valiant defeat, apparently, and there's certainly some units that will be a little bit tough to take down, like the Crypt Horrors, but we shall see. Pragio, you got it, buddy. I believe in you. Alrighty, here we go. The fledgling Air Force takes flight. Obviously, this is not going to be the final form of the Air Force as Tic-Tac-Toe commands it. He's going to have a lot more Ripperdactyls and Xhotl, plus the Regiment of Renown for the Pterodon Riders as well. But for now, it's a little bit of a preview at what we're going to have in... probably 5-ish turns, something along those lines. It's also the first time that we're seeing the Regiment of Renown, well, I guess seeing any Xhotl in this particular battle, and aren't these just some lovely models? The Winged Serpent. Yeah, so we'll see how effective it is in combat, though the first thing that's going to be fighting the enemy is looking to be the Colossedon Hunters. We're going to head directly for those enemy Fellbats, while our aerial units that can shoot enemies are going to attack whatever they can. There we go. We are in it, and look at those bats drop. The first charge takes out probably more than half of them, and the Colossedon Hunters, not only great at hunting Colossedon by the looks of it. There we go. Very, very nice. And it looks like the bats are already disintegrating, and we've even moved our Xhotl in to try to help out. Not that it got to help out for all that long, either. Alrighty, well, with the bats out, there are only 2 units that can still fire at our aerial units. The first, of course, the Skeleton Archers, which are being focused down by both of our Pterodon Riders with Fire Leech Bolas, and will probably be dead in a couple shots. And the second, the unit of Mortars, which we will be dropping down upon in a few seconds as well. Alrighty, take position, and the Xhotl charges with the Colossedon Hunters. Alright, we obviously don't want to stick around here for very long, as we will otherwise get attacked by all the Crypt Horrors and stuff. But we should be here long enough to destroy the unit, or at least force it into crumbling, and there we go. It's begun to crumble, and we are no longer needed here. No need to get bogged down fighting these guys, especially with the Crypt Horrors and the Lord there. And it looks like we make a clean getaway. I love it. Alright, well done to all of you. Now, let's check back on the rest of the army, which is continuing to get annoyed by all of our aerial units, who are now able to do this with complete immunity. And we've obviously established air superiority in previous battles, but it's looking pretty effective here. Technically speaking, the enemy army is better than us, and the auto-resolve was what, Valiant defeat, I think, for this. But now, what the heck are they gonna do now? Yes, they can wait for their reinforcements, which are also about to get attacked by our Fire Leech Bolas, who need to take out the enemy Skeleton Archers. But other than that, all they can do is head towards us here, where the rest of our army is hiding behind this little hill. And I think only this one unit of Red Crests is visible. But obviously we're going to harass them all the way there. It plays a little bit similar to an army heavy on skirmisher cav, but they can't actually do anything to us at all once the enemy is out of anti-air. Alrighty, and from a tactical perspective, not much else to say here, just gonna keep flying overhead and annoying the enemy. Alrighty, well, the Fire Leech Bolas we've seen plenty of times. Let's watch the regular Pterodon Riders a little bit. The Colossedon Hunters and the Xhotl will also sort of hover overhead, waiting for an opportune moment to strike. And there we go, getting some shots on the enemy Crypt Horrors there, although these guys don't really do all that much damage. I do wonder if Tic-Tac-Toe can buff them considerably or not. They are fairly decent at assassinating single targets, and that's why we will shortly be switching them to attack the Tomb King. But I figured that they might be pretty okay at killing monstrous infantry like this, but yeah. I guess the Crypt Horrors are not a great choice either, because Crypt Horrors just have an absolutely massive amount of HP. And of course they're just going to get continuing heals from that Realm of Souls. Oh, and it looks like the enemy has actually found some of our units here, and it does look like our skirmishers will actually do some work here. And the Red Crests are going to be fighting some dire doggos, with the skirmishers obviously hitting them in the sides. Alright, sorry for calling all of you guys useless. Come on. You can do good work here. Alrighty, there we go. The first enemy unit of Dire Doggos is out of the picture. Now we switch to the second, which is charged our Chameleon Skinks, and it looks like the enemy is already melting away. And here comes the Xhotl. You gotta love that lightning effect around it as well. It'll be nice once we get at least 3 of these guys, at least 2 more. It really depends on what things we actually have room for in the army. And oh, well, if it isn't some Ushabti. Fortunately, the Daemonhunters are named such because they are anti-large, and we're going to pop their buff on them as well. And on top of it, we're going to pop Harmonic Convergence with our Lord to keep them from getting too badly hurt. But they should be able to take care of the summoned Ushabti and the Crypt Cores and Mourngold as the latter move in. All the while, of course, all the... Ooh, wow, Xhotl. That looked fantastic. I've been waiting for that lightning breath thing that it does. Huh, now it seems to want to use it a lot. Before it refused to use it and just did the body slam animation. Alright, well, let's see it again. Xhotl, please. No? Okay. Well, there we go. Just a little bit. Oh, that's a nice animation as well. Not the body slam animation I was referring to, but anyway. It looks like we're going pretty well. That's a nice shot. Ah, Air Force. Beginnings of Air Force, and I'm loving it already. So, let's just take a look here. The Crypt Cores are nearly down, the Mourngols are at half HP, and the Ushabti are pretty much gone as well, down to 6 and a sliver of HP. Our own units are more or less okay. The Xhotl is more or less at full HP, while the Daemonhunters are... They're certainly suffering a little bit of damage, but they still have Harmonic Convergence, and on top of it, are above half HP and have almost all their models. The enemy army continues to approach us, but they're suffering harassment this entire time and are continuing to lose models. 100 kills on these Pterodon Riders, pretty good, and the Fire Leech Bowlers are 231 and 261, and I doubt any of the enemy infantry are actually going to reach us, and it looks like even some of the Crypt Cores are going to fail to reach us, as these guys are in critical binding. The enemy Lord is incapacitated because we have managed to already assassinate him with the regular Pterodon Riders, and are going to be going after this Tomb Prince with one of them here as well, to prevent him from moving into the battlefield. And very, very nice. And all those units that move in are just going into that withering crossfire from our skirmishers, and yes indeed, it looks like this unit will start crumbling before they actually reach the battle line. Man, I really didn't expect this army to work as well as it does, but it works pretty well. Surprisingly well, I should say. Alright, now you're just showing off, Xhotl. That was a pretty nice looking effect. Alrighty, and there we go. The Crypt Cores are out, the Mourngols are out in fairly large numbers. There's still some infantry left, but we should be able to kill them with range, and a few units of Crypt Cores and Rotting Prometheans left, I feel like aren't going to achieve much either. And oh, that's a Rotting Prometheans gunnery mob. I didn't even realize. Oh, my bad. Should have killed those guys. I didn't realize. And that they had another range unit, pseudo-range unit, or whatever you want to call it. Alrighty, well, those guys are out. One last unit of Crypt Core is going to charge into the battlefield. We're going to pop the Banishment Bound ability from the Xhotl on top of the Rotting Prometheans, though it's not really needed, and it looks like the rest of the army will start crumbling away. The Tomb Prince will get knocked down and won't get up again after all these javelins. And I do believe the battle is pretty much ours. It's a nice shot as well with all the javelins in the ground like that and the fallen Tomb Prince. Really gotta take screenshots more often. Anyway. Well, let's watch the last of the enemy units crumble away before the strength of the fledgling Air Force. Beautiful. A heroic victory for us, considering the auto-resolve predicted that this would go poorly, but poorly go it did not. Well, alright, I thought that went a lot better than it might have gone. In fact, surprisingly well. I should say, though I suppose in some ways it was predictable due to the lack of air defenses on the enemy's team. Now, the thing that had worried me was the fact that half of our army didn't have stock. Like, if we had all skink units and they were all in stock and invisible, and then our air force could destroy the enemy without them reacting. But they did very slowly get to our main force, but they also suffered for it. So it went reasonably well. Let's see, we got 4 to 7k damage on the skink skirmishers, which is pretty okay, though less than the red crests and the chameleon skinks by and large. Massive amounts of damage on all of our air force units, a little bit less on the pterodon riders regular, as compared to the fire leech bolas, but that's hardly surprising. They did about half damage, but they did also assassinate the Lord, which did work out quite nicely as well. We're gonna heal up just in case. Now, I'd prefer not to have to do so, but who knows if there's another army nearby that we just can't see. Bagar should be a free take as well. Like so, and we're gonna occupy the place. Very nice. Alright, we did lose it, but let's just say not for long. Alrighty, well, with Bagar reclaimed, unfortunately, we are once again out of time, and I am going to have to call the episode. We are next time going to proceed with the 3 here towards Khemri, maybe even with Prajiol and with Farak as well. They're getting closer and closer, and ideally if we can take Khemri with all of them and then swap the units out there, that would be pretty perfect. We also have Kowal, who will either keep recruiting or will move forward as well, but mostly it's just units that need to be swapped around so that Tic-Tac-Toe can get his army up and running. And man, if we later on, if we can get us some Cathayan allies and get some flying units, or maybe brimstone guns from the from Ironbrows, but I was thinking of getting the sky junks, the things that have the fire rain rockets in Tic-Tac-Toe's army. Wouldn't that just be perfect? Then we'd have aerial artillery as well. Alright, we gotta find Cathay an ally with them. I love the idea of mixing more different types of units into Tic-Tac's flying army. Anyway, as I said, calling it here. Next time, more fights with Arcan, maybe a continuation of the fight with Queek, but we'll stop on by at Crookback Mountain and maybe take out Tretch. If we take out some of these territories as well, while Kroq is here, he could just go on a rampage destroying the Bloody Hands and the Crooked Moon until this entire territory is ours, and by ours I mean belonging to Karazakarak. That way Thorax stuff won't be threatened, and our own stuff won't be threatened from the north, and these guys can focus on everything over here without us having to intervene, and give us the ability to push more armies towards Lustria rather than being busy holding off nonsense from up here. So I think it's a pretty good option, especially since Kroqi's already up here. And there's certainly stuff he can do. And at least this way, there's a good reason to loop around and take stuff. Anyway, more battles to come. Stay tuned for more lizards. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the Air Force and the algorithm. And thanks for watching.